Hi, I'm Chef Pete, and we're here today in Harris Teeter's kitchen. I'm going to show you how to roast a standing rib roast. That is a prime rib, still with the bones in it. So we're going to take the piece of meat, and we're going to place it in the roasting pan. You want to make sure that you preheat your oven to 425 degrees. So we're going to actually take some butter that we've left out at room temperature. And we're going to also chop some garlic and add that to the butter. And then some black pepper is going to go in there also. So you want to mince this garlic up nice and thin. So now you're just going to mix this in with the butter. Put a little bit of salt. And then some cracked black pepper. And again, you know, season all foods the way you want to eat it and the way you want it to taste. Mix it all together real well. And then hold that off to the side. We're going to take just a little bit of vegetable oil here. And we're just going to spread that along the sides of the meat. Just on both sides. This gives also a little protective coating to that meat. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on there. On the top, a little bit on the bottom. So important to season meat so well, and this is such a big piece of meat, so don't be afraid to put a little extra salt on there. Now we're going to spread the butter on top. Just put it on here, and then you're going to want to spread it out nice and even. And you can do this the day beforehand if you want, and then wrap it and put it in the fridge. I would just put it in the refrigerator maybe for an hour, let it firm up a little bit, and then place the plastic wrap on it so it doesn't stick to the plastic wrap. This roast will probably at 4.5 pounds. I'm figuring it's going to take about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. After 15 minutes, you set the color, you drop it down to 300 degrees, so it's going to cook nice and slow. So now we're going to take this and place it in the oven. Okay, roast is done. Just pulled it out of the oven, let it cook for about an hour and 45 minutes at a nice slow temperature. Check the internal temperature, about 130 degrees. It's going to rest for about 15 minutes on a piece of meat this big. Probably going to raise about 7 more degrees. So a final temperature about 137. Still going to be nice, medium rare to medium. We're going to set this roast aside. We're going to actually cover it with a little bit of foil so it stays warm, but not too hot. So while that's going on, we're going to make a little sauce. Just an au jus to go along with the meat. So you're going to want to take any of the juice that's in this pan, put it into a little small cup. So you have some of this fat on here. We're going to want to strain that off here in a few minutes. So you're going to take the pan. You have all these nice caramelized little bits and pieces that are stuck to the bottom here. We call that fond. There's so much flavor there that we want to capture that. So we're going to heat up this pan again, just over a low heat. So now we're going to add our wine. You want to use like a wooden spoon to scrape that pan. So if you can see that we're starting to get release of everything on the bottom of this pan. That's all that great flavor that you want in your sauce. Now we'll add our beef broth. And then we're going to turn the heat up to high. And we're going to want to reduce this probably about halfway. So we're going to place this on this platter. And we'll get back to our sauce here. So now what we're going to do is add some butter into it. I have some plain butter here. You're going to whisk that in. And we also have a little bit of the reserved garlic butter that we put on top of the roast. So we're going to whisk that in. And then we also have the fond or the juices that came off the roast left over. We don't want to forget those. There's tons of flavor there. Again, all these little extra things that you're doing here are just going to ensure that you have a great tasting piece of meat at the end. So I'm going to just season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're going to turn the heat off. Now, I'm just going to want to take this and ladle it into some type of a gravy boat and serve it alongside the meat. I'm Chef Pete in Harris Teeter's Kitchen. This is the standing rib roast. Enjoy.